Hey guys, it's Frank from Cruising with Wheels. What do botulism, missing chairs, and snobbery with a little side of soft serve have to do with your dining experience? We'll find out in this episode of my Tales from the High Seas. Well, I've got some crazy story for you today that came from our NCL Bliss inaugural Alaskan cruise. Oh, you all know we've been back. We went in June on this gorgeous ship. And I'm going to tell you some wacky things that we saw and we heard from other cruise guests. Things that happened in the buffet, especially restaurants and in the main dining rooms. They're truly wacky and crazy. But first, Kevin's going to give you a tour of the Garden Cafe Buffet. The first story I'm going to tell you happened one morning when Kevin went to get an omelet at the omelet station in the Garden Cafe Buffet. I wasn't with them. I think I stayed in the cabin. I think I was satisfied with just my morning coffee and a Danish that we had delivered by room service. But he was feeling a little bit more hungry, so he went to the buffet. And let me tell you, you've all heard of the brand new movie, Crazy Rich Asians? Well, this might have been a scene out of it. I really don't know. Haven't seen the movie yet, but it sounds hilarious. He was standing in line at the station while the chef was making omelets. And in front of him was this little Asian woman. And she was holding in her hands a cloth napkin. So she gets to the chef, and he says, of course, what can I get you? What would you like? And she was like,
oh, here, you put this in my omelet.
And he was like, okay, what do you want in your omelet?
You put this in omelet. You put this in omelet.
And so Kevin's kind of looking like, what is she talking about? And what is she holding? And so the chef was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you mean. So she opens up the cloth napkin, and she's got shrimp in it. And he said, what is that?
You put in omelet. I want omelet. You put in my omelet.
And he goes, where did you get that shrimp from? Because he's thinking, we don't have shrimp out here at breakfast time in the buffet. Where did she come up with piles of shrimp in a cloth napkin? And so she goes,
I have shrimp last night. I have shrimp last night. I save. You put in omelet this morning.
And he goes, I'm sorry, ma'am, but that's not healthy. That's not safe. Where did you have that?
I keep in my room. You put in omelet.
And he's going, I'm sorry. We can't put shrimp that's been sitting around in your cabin from last night's dinner in your omelet.
No, I paid for. You put in omelet.
And he's going, no. So he's arguing. It was crazy. Kevin was like, what the heck? Who saves food overnight in their cabin lying around and then thinks that the chef the next morning is just kind of going to mix it in my omelet? The chef was horrified. Kevin said you should have seen the look on his face. It was really crazy. He didn't do it. He wouldn't do it. It's not in line with food safety aboard a cruise ship or anywhere. I don't know what this woman was thinking, but she didn't get her shrimp in her omelet that morning. The second crazy buffet story was told to us, and it was a couple, and they had got to the buffet in the morning for breakfast, and they both went through the line, got their plates, got back to the table they selected, and they had all their plates of food on the table with the napkin and their utensils, and it was all laid out and they were ready. But they both went back because they had to get something to drink and maybe something else. But the table was clearly set with food, and obviously somebody going to sit there and have a breakfast, totally presented and untouched. But when they came back to their table to sit down, all their chairs were gone. In the few moments that they left to go back to the buffet line to grab a coffee or juice, and then both of them come back, they get back at their table, and all the chairs are missing. Someone had taken all their chairs and moved it over to the next table so that, 8 or whatever people could sit crammed around a small table together. And they were like, well, how are we supposed to sit down now and eat our breakfast? How rude. Who would do that? I mean, seriously, who would go up to a table that is obviously set for someone to eat with fresh food, totally not touched, uneaten? You know someone's coming back to sit down and eat, and steal their chairs. I mean, come on. I call bullshit on this. Totally rude. I mean, you're on board a ship with thousands. I mean, there were 4,700 people on board. Let's execute some manners that hopefully your parents taught you. Unbelievable. But that's some of the crazy crap that happens on a cruise ship. The third issue that went on, and again, it was in the buffet, and it was with the soft serve ice cream machines. Now on the Bliss, The Garden Cafe is huge. I mean, it's just huge. I mean, you need to make sure you have your running shoes on and you have enough energy, you hope, to make it around the entire buffet area before you sit down and eat. You might faint before you even get a taste of the first part of your meal. It's so large. I myself, I'm in a wheelchair. I was exhausted wheeling myself around the yellow brick road that takes you all around the Garden Cafe. And there were so many soft serve ice cream machines. It's like, oh, there's one. Wheel it. Oh, there's another one. I think I counted 6 just in the buffet area. But you know what? To Kevin's horror, 5 of the 6 machines didn't work. And you know how Kevin is with his free ice cream. He was flipping out. Now, normally, as we used to sail on the smaller NCL Jewel class ships, there's usually about 2 soft serve ice cream machines. And so, when one isn't working, that just leaves the other. And usually there's a line of people because they all want their free ice cream. But 5 of the 6 not working or not working right. We were watching as people were, pulling the handle and literally chocolate water was just pouring out into their cone or dish, or nothing was coming out at all. And then, we got to the 6th one, and it's like, is this one working? It's like, oh yeah, look over there. I see a kid. He's got a cone. It's ice cream. It's real ice cream coming out. And everyone starts running over there en masse to try to get the ice cream. Now, personally, I don't care for it, and I don't eat it. Now, first of all, I'm lactose intolerant, okay? So I really shouldn't have it. Second of all, it isn't real ice cream. It's ice milk. And so Kevin is like, grabbing it like, it's the ultimate in ice cream. Personally, I'd rather go over and find the gelato. But that's another story. And he's always shoving his ice cream cone in my face. Here, you want some? You want some? And I'm like, no, get it out of me. It's not even real ice cream. Stop pushing that ice milk in my face. But it was a nightmare. How, on a brand new ship, an inaugural cruise, 5 of the 6 soft serve ice cream machines are not working. That's just crazy. You're freaking out and pissing off a lot of your cruise passengers who look forward to this free ice cream. My final story pertains to Le Bistro French restaurant. It's a specialty restaurant, and we've eaten there before on other NCL ships that we've sailed, and we've had great meals there. Now, this time around on the Bliss, we didn't eat there. We looked at the menu, and it was really seafood oriented. And we were like, even though we had a reservation, we decided to cancel it, and we opted to go somewhere else. And we told our concierge if she could try to get us into Cagney's for a second time because, we love Cagney's. Well, she couldn't do it. And so that night, she got with the hotel director, and they decided that they would get us in to the Haven restaurant for dinner. And we ate there that night, and it was awesome. And those of you that have seen our food videos and gone through, the food was just spectacular. But let's get back to the Le Bistro and the story I'm about to tell you, because you know what? It does have a connection to the Haven. Apparently, there was a Haven guest. Now, she was staying in the complex, exclusive, cruise ship within a cruise ship experience. You all know the Haven is exclusive. Costs a lot of buco bucks to stay up in the complex, as well as in the Haven suites, the aft suites that they have on the lower decks, 9 through 16. But this woman decided, I guess, to eat at Le Bistro. Well, the story goes that she was making a fuss and was horrified because she was surrounded in the restaurant of Le Bistro, surrounded with non-Haven passengers. Oh my gosh, can you imagine the horror of it all? for this poor woman to be sitting at her table and have the lower level peon guests around her, looking at her? I mean, please, does this bitch think she's sailing on the Titanic? Oh, are these second and third class steerage passengers near me? Oh, get them away. I don't want them even breathing the same air. I'm a Haven guest. I should not be subjected to these low-level peons. Couldn't you not put up some dividing walls to protect me from them? I mean, come on. Get a grip, lady. Where do you think you are? This is just crazy. Where do these people come from? Seriously. Talk about a caste system aboard a ship. Yes, lady, you booked the Haven, and you're up there in the Haven complex with your private suite and your private pool and restaurant and all the amenities that go with the complex. But honey, when you step out that door onto the rest of the ship, you know, into the main dining rooms and specialty restaurants of Ocean Blue, La Bistro, Cagney's, and Los Lobos and Q Texas Barbecue, let me tell you something, honey. You're no better than the rest of us. So sit your ass down in the chair, enjoy your meal, and just shut the F up. Because if you think your crap don't stink, I'm here to tell you it's just the same as the rest of us. Do you believe these people? Oh my God, unbelievable. What a snob! So these were just some of the crazy, wacky food stories I needed to get to all of you. And you know that I've done other videos from all our other sailings aboard NCL, Carnival, and wherever. So you can check out my other Tales from the High Sea videos that I've done, like my episode 2, Bitch Stole My Wheelchair, or episode 4, Valentine Day Bitch, or episode 7, La Cucina Dinner, Crazy Cackler, or episode 11, Teppanyaki, the Old Lady, and All the Screaming, or episode 13, everyone's favorite, Food Thief. So check them all out if you haven't seen them, or you've already seen them and you want to see them again for a hoot and a holler. Just go to our YouTube channel, playlist, Frank's Tales from the High Seas, and revisit all of them. You'll get a kick. You'll be rolling on the floor laughing. So on behalf of Kevin and myself from Cruising with Wheels, remember, go to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Click on that little bell to get alerts of all our videos when they go live. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And I want to remind everyone out there to always travel safe and cruise often. Bye-bye for now.